welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope y'all are having another good day. Well, today, just like in the description, y'all, we got a turbo. It's going to be an unboxing. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please, real quick, before you drop down and leave the video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you drop a comment and let me know your opinion, because I definitely want to hear what you guys got to say about this video. It's going to be a good one. Stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. All right. So, you guys, we got a brand new turbo for the 4th gen. Okay, right there. She's there. She ain't going nowhere. So we got a brand new turbo that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. We have a S369 7391.91. All right. So this is a S369 SXE billet wheel with the 360 degree thrust bearing inside of it. And then it has that .91 AR, which is going to allow for that fast spool up. And then it has a 73 millimeter turbine side. Okay, it's a nice little baby right here. This is a non-VGT turbo. Okay, so I'll go ahead and explain to you guys what I was thinking of, or my thought process behind going with this setup. Obviously, the boys over at MDC Mac and his team hooked it up. Again, I have information down below in the description block. For a discount, you can save $100 on a order. So if you order a turbo, you will save $100. That's right, $100. Not free shipping, not, you know, $10 off. $100 on a turbo. Okay, it'll be good for any drop-in turbo, or if you go with their 2nd gen swap kit. We opted for the 3rd gen non-VGT setup, but we also have an upgraded high flow manifold from them as well. Divided, unlike the stock, which I'm pretty sure the stock is undivided, and this is a 2-piece. You can see here where it gets pressed in at. This is going to be a nice setup, you guys. These 369, people sleep on the 300 frame turbos when it comes to 6.7s. They really do. If you do the math right, if you do the right research, these SXE 300 frame turbos flow almost, if not just as good as some of the 400 frame turbos, depending on what size. Obviously, you're limited in terms of how big you can go with a 300 frame turbo. But this is what we got right here. So we're going to be doing this. This is going to be going down here within the next couple weeks. This thing looks so nice. We are going to powder coat the cover, compressor cover. Don't know what color yet. I'm still trying to pick out a color for my engine bay. In terms of theme and what theme color I want to go with for the engine bay. But man, this thing looks slick, y'all. Check this out. You know what I'm saying? And then we got all the hardware here. Gaskets, fittings, O-rings, manifold bolts, all that, all the whole shebang. And then we got the manifold over there. And what's cool about this setup is you can use your factory intake, and you can use your factory downpipe. So unlike the 2nd gen swap kit where you have to run an HX40 downpipe and your stock intake won't fit it, it will fit. So that's going to save you money. So these kits are really nice because you can get a really nice flowing turbo, a really good, more reliable turbo over the VGT turbos. But you're going to save costs because it's a direct drop in. You don't have to do modifying. You can even reuse the same oil feed line and drain line. They actually include an extension piece for it to help ease installation. And yeah, man, these things are awesome right here, man. So this is what we got. S369 SXE. This thing's gonna be a ripper. So you might ask, well, what is this turbo good for? All right, so for the S369 from Smedden, this is kind of like that middle ground between a towing setup slash a performance, high performance setup. All right, it's that middleman. So you get the best of both worlds. What that means is that it's friendly for towing, which means good EGTs, little to no smoke, probably no smoke. And then at the same time, if you want to add injectors to it, if you want to throw, like, you know, 100 horsepower injectors, 120 horsepower injectors at it, it's good for that as well. This turbo is good it's good between 650 to 700 horsepower, depending on how you configure the turbo with the thrust bearing and all that whatnot. But this is a very, very nice, just middleman all around turbo. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the cousin of a S464 in an instance, where S464 you can tow with it, but you can also throw some fuel at it, get some power, get some juice, and have a good running truck. So that's where the S369 comes in at. But the biggest difference between the S369 and let's say going with the S464 is if you do a S464, you're going to do a second gen swap, which costs more money because you're completely changing the setup. What's awesome about these third gen style drop-ins is that you keep all the other stuff. Legitimately, you're swapping the manifold and the turbo, which saves a lot of money on cost. So you're probably looking at, for under 1,500 bucks, easily under 1,500 bucks, you can get a very nice running turbo for a good cost compared to, you know, others and whatnot. And it's fun, you know what I'm saying? And then being a non-VGT, it's more reliable. And then one more thing, a lot of people think Smedin and MDC, they think that they only have turbos for Cummins applications. They actually have all three applications: Cummins, Power Strokes, and Duramax. They have turbos for the 6.0, even the 10 blade turbine, you get that whistle. They have Duramax applications, LBZs, LOYs, LMMs, direct drop-ins, pedal stools included and stuff. So I highly encourage you to check out their website. You might find some stuff on top of, they also have performance parts, you know, intercoolers, all that sorts of stuff too. So I got a lot of new subscribers that haven't heard a lot about that company because I haven't been doing anything turbo related in a while. So check it out. You might see something you like, all right? And trust me, you're gonna like it. So in terms of why I chose or why I went with the okay, so backtrack. Plans are, for now, the projection for the truck. So the plan is that I want to be able to have a solid towing truck. To be honest with you guys, in terms of performance and where it's going to be at, it's going to be very similar to my third gen build, minus the injectors, probably not as big. But the goal is I want a strong towing truck. Very minimal, if any, drive pressure, because drive pressure is what kills heads all day. And I just want it to flow good and sound good, okay? Now, we're going to be taking off the stock HE300 VE turbo, but I'm going to keep it. Reason being is because the long-term goal for the truck is to get compounds on it. Like, I'm going to do compounds. That is going to happen to this truck. And my plan is I'm going to take that stock HE300 turbo on there, send it out, probably going to do Turbo Time USA, send it out to them, have them rework it to see if they can rework it roughly to a S366-ish or a 366 size setup. And then we're going to run probably a S475 on top of that. Usually when they rework those turbos, they can get the drive pressures down really good with those VGT turbos, because those VGT turbos, the drive pressure is like 1 to 3, meaning like if you're making 10 pounds of boost, you're probably sitting at about 30 pounds of drive pressure, which is not good. When you're looking at your boost to drive pressure, you want basically a 1-to-1 ratio. These fixed vane turbos, so this is a fixed vane. There's no, actually it's just a fixed turbo. There's no variable vanes in it. But with these fixed vane turbos, there isn't really no drive pressure, which is why a lot of people like them, and that's why what makes them more reliable versus sticking with the electronic VGT style turbo. So with that being said, we're gonna run the 369 SXE for now, and who knows? If I do, I haven't sat down and done the numbers yet, because when you're doing compounds, it's a lot more into it than what you would think. You know, most of you probably be like, why don't you just throw an S475 on top of the S369? Your turbos have to complement each other, okay? You can't just slap one turbo on and then put a big turbo on top and think that it's gonna rip, you know what I'm saying? You want them to pair together, okay? Because they work, you know, in harmony together, essentially, you know what I'm saying? So to prevent that drop off between one lighting off and one still spooling, the inducer and the atmospheric turbo, you got to make sure you do it right. So I'm gonna do my research in terms of what would pair well with this 369 SXE. Might be a little too big, honestly, but you never know what's out there. But long-term visions is to get the HE300 style turbo I have, the OEM one. I'm gonna get that sent off, get it reworked, and then we're gonna slap a turbo on top of it, whether it's a 475 or a S480. The S480 was really nice on my third gen, man. That 366 S480 combo was beautiful. That was a excellent spooling, driving, performance, all of EGTs, everything, drive pressure is beautiful. And that's what I'm trying to shoot at with this truck too, you guys. So that's what we got going on. I had to show you the unboxing. I've actually had these parts in my garage. Probably some of y'all seen it too, because a couple videos ago I gave a sneak peek of it towards the very end of the video. So whoever watched the video to the end, they got to see a sneak peek, so they knew what was up. But I never talked in depth about the turbo and, you know, why I'm going with this setup. What are we doing? For now, we'll rock 369. What I would like to do though too is keep a brake. I really want to keep a factory or keep an exhaust brake of some sort, because I do plan on pulling with this truck, and having an exhaust brake is a night and day difference. Anybody who tows knows that. I've been looking into a couple options. I saw BD has a kit, an exhaust brake kit that I'm probably going to end up leaning towards going to. I'm hoping, that's honestly why I haven't put this turbo on, because I'm leaning towards picking that up, because when I do the turbo, this one, I want to also do the BD brake because it plugs into the factory brake harness, so I'm still able to use the same button inside my truck for my exhaust brake. So that's where I'm sitting at. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to show y'all that and let you know what I'm thinking, what's going on. That is a beautiful looking turbo. That thing looks sick. For colors, I'm kind of leaning towards the same colors I had with the truck. I mean, that red, you know, that Delmonico red, I mean, I probably can get an Illusion Cherry in there and then get some gold, kind of like the gold that was on my last truck. Get some of that in the engine bay, that red and gold. I think that would look sick as hell. Pop the hood and see that. But we definitely got that going on. Also, I'm currently looking at cold air intakes. That's probably like the most wanted mod I see in the comments that everybody wants me to do is a cold air intake. They're saying Banks, SMB, Banks, SMB. Probably gonna end up going with the SMB because I did the research. For the price, the more money you pay for the Banks, you're basically paying for an extra 100. It flows, I think it's 100 CFM more flow. And for the price, or sorry, percent, you're paying for an extra 10% flow. SMB claims that their filter flows at 54% efficiency. Banks claims that theirs is like 63, 65% efficiency. But there's a big price difference between them, so I don't know. I'm just saying. And on top of that, I'm one of those guys, I'm just being real as hell with y'all now. I'm a firm believer that cold air intakes, they look cool, they sound cool. In terms of performance though, I honestly don't think you'll see anything extremely noticeable until you start hitting that 6, 7, 8, that probably like that 7, 8, 900 horsepower club. If you just got a stock truck and you got a cold air intake on there, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit better airflow in there. But in terms of performance and stuff, there ain't no rush to get it. So that's where I'm sitting at as well when it comes to the intake. So basically what I got to do is order the exhaust brake for the turbo, because I really don't want to drive the truck without the exhaust brake. I just don't. You guys, I had that for my 3rd gen almost the entire time I've owned it. I like having the brake. It's a nice feature. So that's where we're at. Trying to think, it was something else, man. Something else I had to tell y'all, but it might come back to me later. Oh yeah, I got to order stud manifolds or manifold studs for the manifold, because you get hardware for it. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you're ever doing a turbo and you're changing your manifold, you can use the bolts they provide. They work fine. I've used them in the past. But having manifold studs, y'all, is night and day, because mounting this sucker, instead of trying to hold it, keep the gasket in place, thread a bolt in, line them, if all the studs are in, legitimately all you gotta do is put the gaskets on, mount this bad boy to it, put the nuts on and torque it down. You're done. Okay, so we got that going. This piece looks good too. I'm also going to go ahead and paint this. So what we're going to do is very similar to my compounds install. I'm going to use a manifold paint and paint this, because what'll happen is this sucker will turn orange probably like within a year, depending on where you live. It'll turn orange and look ugly. So I'm going to paint it and get it black, clear coat it, seal it in. And we're also going to do the turbine housing side, because the turbine housing side is also known for that too. It'll turn orange. It's raw in the elements, so that's what happens. So that's where we're sitting at right now with this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the 369 SXE setup? These things rip, man. My boy Mike, aka Monster Ram, his is a 2nd gen swap though, but he has a Borg Warner S369 SXE on his 4th gen, and his truck rips. You're talking 0 to 40 psi. That thing punches a pack. So we're looking forward to it. I think this is gonna be awesome. So that's gonna do it for the video. So if you guys got anything you want to say, comment down below. I would love to hear what y'all got to say. Thank you for joining the video again. Once again, remember, there is a promo code if you guys want to order you guys a turbo off of MDC's website. It's down below in the description, link, all that stuff down there. Save you $100 on a drop-in turbo or a 2nd gen swap turbo. Anybody who's been watching my channel knows I've only ran Smedden turbos on my trucks. Never had an issue with them, and I'm being 100% honest. You guys know me. I won't put anything on my truck and recommend it to y'all if I won't put it on my own truck. So I stand behind their products. Mac has never let me down. It's always been good. So with that being said, I will see you guys soon. Take care, be safe, and peace out.